Okay, here we are with our elevation. So the first thing we're going to do is add some textures, and we're going to use the exact same methodology that we did with the floor plans. We are going to find some materials that we want to use. We are going to define them as a pattern, and then we're going to apply them using the Paintbucket tool. So let's start off by looking for 4 different patterns. And you are the designer, so whatever you want to do. First thing we're going to look for is something for this wall. You could do a beautiful wallpaper or whatever you like. Something for the countertops, something for the cabinets, and of course if you want the bottom and upper cabinets to be different, that's totally fine with me. And then you also want to find a texture for your refrigerator. So let's go ahead and take a look at Google. Let's go ahead and get some images. So I know you already remember this, but I'm going to do a brick wall. That'll be fun. Remember, texture seamless. Oops, I forgot to put JPEG. See what we get. Brick wall, or whatever you're doing, texture seamless JPEG, super important. Let's go to images. Let's find a good one, kind of like this one. Let's see what happens. Right click, and I'm gonna save it to my, where I wanna save it. I wanna go to textures, and I wanna go to elevation. So I already saved a couple things. Brick wall 1. I'll save a couple just in case my first choice is not working because that happens sometimes. Let's try this really kind of broken down, crazy looking one. I call this one brick wall 2. I already saved a couple just so that you wouldn't have to watch me do the same thing over and over again. I've already got concrete for my countertops, stainless steel for my appliances. I'm going for a industrial look this time. And the last thing I need is my cabinets. I want to do a nice walnut wood. See what we get. Ah, beautiful. Horizontals are going to look weird, so let's do something vertical. Man, these are beautiful. That's the hardest part, is picking one, right? Okay, I'm gonna pick one. Let's do this one. Oh, HTML document, that's not good. All right, guess we can't use that one. That's why we don't get too attached. Let's try this one. Save as. And this one looks like it's so we'll save it as wood 1, and let's do another one just in case that one doesn't work. Okay, just mix it. How about this one? Let's try wood 2. Okay, I've got a couple options. Now I'm going to go back to my Photoshop file. Let's go ahead and let's do the wall. That'll be pretty exciting. I'm going to use my magnifying glass and zoom in so I can kind of see a little bit better. And I'm going to go File, Open. Let's try brick wall 1 and see what happens. All right, it's open as its own file. And I know you already remember this. We go to Edit, Define Pattern. Okay. Let's go back here. Let's use our magic wand and just click in the middle of the wall, and it's going to select everything for me. Start a new layer. I know I'm going a little quickly, but that's because we've already done this. Paintbucket. Switch the Paintbucket to the bricks, and oh, it's already the right scale and everything, huh? I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm not even gonna change the scale. All right, fabulous. Let's go on. go back to layer 1, because layer 1 is, of course, you know, it's always the background layer, the drawing layer. In fact, I'm going to rename it drawing. Just remind myself, always go back to the drawing layer when we select things. I'm going to say File and Open. I'm going to grab that concrete. I'm going to do my countertops. File, oh, not File, Edit, Find Pattern. Okay. And now I go back to Interior Elevation. I'm on my drawing layer. I use my magic wand and I am just going to click and hold down Shift. There we go. So I selected, and again, you hold down Shift, means add to. So I was just kind of adding to my selection. So I've got all of my countertops. I'm going to do new layer, and I'm going to name it countertops. And now I go to my paint bucket, pick my concrete, and so is the fun part, right? When you click it. You know, again, I think it looks great. I'm not gonna change it. I can't change the scale or anything. We are on a roll. All right, back to drawing. We're gonna select all of our cabinetry. Anything that you want to do wood. I'm gonna leave my handles. I'm gonna do them something else, and also these little dividers. I guess those could be wood. Or you can do them like a plain, kind of like a gray or something, I don't know, whatever. Details, right? Designer details. Okay. File, open. Let's see. The moment of truth on whether any of these wood ones are going to work. Edit, define pattern. I'm going to call it wood. This is looking good so far. Back to my elevation. I start a new layer, and I call it cabinets. Paintbucket. Change my texture to wood. Is that too big? I feel like that's too big. You remember how to change the scale, right? Well, if you don't, let me show you. You go to FX, make sure you're on your cabinetry layer, go to FX and pattern overlay. And it's gonna try and change it on me. Always tries to change the pattern. Kind of move that a little out of the way. And try and make it a smaller scale. Oh, see, it wasn't seamless. This is why I put in seamless, because I wanted to make sure that it wouldn't do that weird tiling thing. You see that? See how crappy that looks? That's because it's not actually seamless. And you know, it's just, that's life. You know, you enter these things as search criteria, but doesn't mean that's always what you're gonna get. So now I have to play around with it. I don't see any tiles. I think that looks pretty seamless. Right, I'm gonna say okay. One last piece to do, and that is the refrigerator. So I'm gonna go to File, Open, and I have some stainless steel here. And I'm going to say Edit, Define Pattern, okay. Go back to Interior Elevation, go back to my drawing layer, use my magic wand to click on the fridge, hold down Shift, click on the other door, and now I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to call it Fridge. I'm going to use my paint bucket, change the pattern. I think that looks pretty crappy. Once again, it is not totally seamless. See that weird line? So let's see what we can do. Pattern overlay and see if I can just mess around with it a little bit. Oh, actually I like what it just did. That looks perfect. Magic Photoshop. I love it. Let's say okay. And I'm just going to do Control D to deselect. Look at how much we have done already. When we come back, we're going to do some really exciting stuff. We're going to do a scene through the window. We're going to add a person for scale. We're going to do all sorts of awesome stuff. I know this was a little bit of a quick video. That's because we've already done this. We did this last time with the floor plan. So I want to show you some new stuff. So go ahead and fill in these textures, and then I will meet you in the next video.